Minutes and we'll be live. Okay, namaste everyone. Namaste everyone. Welcome to Hindi University. We'll be starting the class in a couple of minutes. I'm just posting it on Facebook and we'll get the class started. But really excited to have all of you this Sunday. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for waiting. Really excited to have all of you in this class. And good to see so many students and friends all over the world, from all over the world. So, as you know, we meet every Sunday, 8 a.m. at the US Pacific time, and we learn about the Hindi language. For those of you who are new to Hindi University, you can learn more about us by going to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Hindi University. And you can find out 550 plus, Hindi related videos. And that's the best way for you to get you started. And for those of you who are interested in the live interactive session, you can also go to our page, tiny.cc/Hindi University. And you will find out, the links and the details for how to join the class and interact with other students. As most of you know, that we've been working on a book called Teach Yourself Hindi in the last several months. Teach Yourself Hindi. It's a book written by Professor Rupert Snell, who's a professor at University of Texas, Austin. And right now we are on chapter number 9 in this book. Okay. For those of you who are completely new, don't worry about it. Even though, we are on chapter number 9, we're still going over some of the things which are like very basic. So, and we are building on top of it. So, even though you may be completely new, you'll still be able to follow up on several things. Okay. Now, as you know, in chapter number 9, first we cover how to use future indefinite tense in Hindi. And after that, we started learning the keyword called he. Okay, that's what we practiced in the previous class. He. Who remembers what he means? Before I get started, let's see who at least recalls the use of he. Jamil, you want to share your thoughts?
Yes. So it's the word to use to emphasize some word.
Okay.
Like it can be a pronoun, it can be a noun. So if you want to emphasize some word in a sentence, like, can I say an example?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So the simple sentence, for example, May Hindi bolta hu. So we will say, May he Hindi bolta hu. Like me, just I speak Hindi.
Okay, so the first one sentence you said is मैं हिंदी बोलता हूँ. And for those of you who are new or advanced, it's मैं हिंदी बोलता हूँ. It's I speak Hindi. मैं is I. Verb is बोलना, which is to speak. And because it's Jamil, he removed the na and he put ta, and he said मैं हिंदी बोलता हूँ. Keep going, Jamil, which means I speak.
Yeah. So if you add he to the me, like मैं ही हिंदी बोलता हूँ, so it will be just me, just I speak Hindi. Or
okay, so you are saying if you put he here, that means the emphasis is on which word?
To
me or
me,
he?
to I. So on the word me.
Okay, so only I speak Hindi, which
only I speak.
It may not be the exact way it translates in English, but that means, as you're saying, it's emphasis on this person that मैं ही हिंदी बोलता हूँ. I don't know about other people, but that's what it means. Good job. Okay, what about What about if it is coming, if the position of he changes, does it make any difference in the sentence?
Yes. So,
Yeah.
like in this case, we will say "मैं हिंदी ही बोलता हूँ." Like it means I speak just Hindi, not English, not any other language, just Hindi.
Very good, right? So if it is coming after the word, after the noun Hindi here, the emphasis is on not on the pronoun मैं, the emphasis is on the word Hindi. That means, as you said, मैं हिंदी ही बोलता हूँ, which means like I do not know other languages like French, English, Spanish, any other, you name it, right? So that's a quick refresher of how we learned, or what we learned about this, the word, called Hindi, he, okay, emphatic he, okay, and Rupert Snell really calls it emphatic, emphatic he. Okay, so that's a quick refresher. Hopefully, everyone remembers that. Okay, and toward the end of the class, we started learning some advanced usage of he. Now it's an important topic, and even I in the past never covered the advanced usage of it. So I thought it would be a good idea to break it down and practice, many more sentences using, he, especially the advanced sentences. Okay, there's no point of rushing if you all don't feel comfortable, using it in a day-to-day life. And that's, for me, that's the intent, that all of you should feel comfortable. Okay, so for some of you it may still feel like you're going a little bit slow, but don't worry, it's for the benefit of everyone. So that way you can all follow along and use it with the pronouns as well. Okay, now the next thing, I want to cover in this chapter is, is using, is basically after the, in this class, it's advanced use of he, which is using it with pronoun, using it with pronouns with oblique cases, and we will learn about it, and using it with adjectives. That's the first thing I want to cover in this class. If time permits, we'll do future continuous in Hindi, and if time permits, this one is optional, and if time, we will definitely do the reading part of it. So we'll read Hindi in chapter number 9 only. There is a conversation going on between Arun and his co-author. So there is a section in the page number 114. So we'll do that, and after that, basically all the students, they will interact with each other. Okay, so that's the theme of the class. So it's a packed schedule. So if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or speak up, and we'll cover that. Okay, awesome. So let's get started with the first. You saw the quick refresher of he. So I hope everyone follows that. Now let's do the how to use he with the oblique cases. Okay, some background noise. So if you guys can mute yourself, that'll be really great. So let's do the how to use the first part, which is pronoun plus use of he. Okay, let me just make sure that everyone is muted. I think there's some noise there. Okay, so pronoun plus he. So if you guys recall, in the previous class also we tried to cover it. So I'll take basic pronouns. So first one is yeh and vah, like the demonstrative pronoun, yeh vah. And if you're using the word he with that, okay. So if you recall, like when we were using the pronoun main, you couldn't really, you could use it, but it was not embedded together. Okay, it was still two different words. मैं ही हिंदी बोलता हूँ. I only speak Hindi. Okay. Now let's see यह and वह. If you add he to it, it changes into what? So let me see who can answer that. I want you to participate here, and you know.
Yehi.
Mehi, very good. And who answered that?
Satyanka sir.
Satyank. Okay. Okay, awesome. What about you, Ted? What about Veh plus he?
Wahi.
Wahi, very good. So this one is yahi, and the other one, vah plus he is wahi. What do you guys think it means? Yahi and wahi.
That only.
Too, and that too.
What? Say it again.
Only
That
this.
only.
Okay, so very good, right? So both of you, so yah is this, and vah is that. Okay, and when we say yah plus he is, you are saying only this, and this one is only that. Now, it's a loose translation. So when you look at the sentence or English sentence, it may not just translate one-on-one as only this and only that. So just bear that in mind. Okay. So let's try to use it with a sentence. So that way it will make more sense. Now, while I'm doing it, I do want you to think about the different kind of sentences you can make. Okay. And feel free to write it in the chat, in the Zoom chat. So at least you can practice. Okay. And other students can also can see your attempt and learn from that. Okay, so yah plus he is yahi, and vah plus he is vahi. I know some of you requested Devanagari, so this is yah and this is vah. Okay, and you're putting he here, so it becomes yahi, and this one is vahi. Okay, so if there's any confusion at all, always start with a very basic sentence with yah and vah. Then try to see the same with yahi and wahi. That will make your confusion very clear. So what I mean by that is let's write an example using yah and vah. Okay, and then that way at least you know what I mean here. So point number one is, let's say you write a sentence called yah aadmi tha, or, which is basically you are looking for specifically यह आदमी, very simple, this man. Okay, और यह लड़का, which is this boy. Okay, now if you put he with it, it becomes यही आदमी, and I'm using a very simple two words here, the same man basically. Now you're pointing to a particular person, he आदमी, and then this one is यही लड़का.
मेरे एक सवाल है.
Yes.
So the same man, not the only man. Is that
In
right?
this case, yes, exactly. In this case, you're pointing to a particular, let's say, you are part of an interrogation, right? And authorities are asking you, identify the person, who you saw at the, a place, okay? And you go with the authorities and you tell them, yahi aadmi tha, okay? And this exactly the same man, okay? Or yahi ladka tha, who was, creating this problem. Okay, so in this case, even Rupert Snell, he calls it particularly. If you look at this section of page number 116, he says, "Yahi wahi aadmi" also means the same man. Okay, so you are absolutely right.
Oh, the very one. Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly the same person. Okay, so bear in mind it's not the one-to-one translation, so we have to take the context into account. Yeah. Okay. Now, can you think of more similar sentences with yahi and wahi? Give it a try, Kelly ji, if you can think of something.
मैं वही कह रही थी.
Okay, very good, right? So you said मैं वही. So I'm going to make it simple. मैं वही बोल रही थी. And what does it mean, Sangeeta ji?
I was saying the exact same thing.
Very good. I was saying the exact same thing. So hopefully everyone follows it. It's if the sentence was simply मैं bol rahi thi, which is what we have learned so far. I was, which means I was saying or I was speaking. Okay, main bol rahi thi. For me, main bol raha tha. Okay, and for those of you who are completely new, the verb here is bolna, okay, which is to speak, but we are using it in present continuous. So it becomes main, sorry, in this case it's past continuous, right? So it becomes main bol rahi thi for a girl and main bol raha tha for a boy. Now, let's say, so, you want to be very specific here. I was saying the exact same thing. How do you say that? It's basically by using this, first the pronoun vah and putting he on top of it. Okay, मैं वही बोल रही थी. Okay. Similarly, I was thinking the same thing. Let me ask you guys before I give you the answer. Ted, how will you write it? How will you say that? I was thinking the same thing, exact same thing.
Thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
मैं वही सोच रहा था.
Very good. मैं वही सोच रहा था. मैं वही सोच रहा था. So exactly similar structure, okay, but verb is changed from bolna to sochna. Sochna is to think, okay. So the verb here is sochna, but we removed the na and we have added like raha. मैं वही सोच रहा था. I was thinking the same thing. Who else? Navras, can you think of similar sentences using
Yes.
wahi or yahi?
Yes, वही औरत कल सड़क पर चल रही थी.
Very good, right? So you said wahi औरत. वही औरत. Hopefully you can see it. वही औरत कल
सड़क पर चल रही थी.
सड़क पर चल. Okay, so apology because it's not fitting well. वही औरत कल सड़क पर चल रही थी. Break it down. If you have to simplify it, how will you do that?
औरत चल रही थी.
Okay.
Woman was walking.
Okay.
And then औरत कल चल रही थी. She was walking yesterday.
Okay.
In the street, सड़क पर.
Okay.
But I'm talking about a certain woman, so I'll say वही औरत. That same woman, she was walking. Maybe I saw her in the street now, and I said, that woman, I saw her yesterday. She was walking.
Amazing. What is the difference if I just say वह औरत कल सड़क पर चल रही थी? Does it make any difference? So this versus वह औरत, same thing, but you're just using वह औरत कल सड़क पर चल रही थी.
वह औरत means that woman, and वही औरत means that the same woman.
I see. So more emphasis on that, on the women here, right?
Yes.
Great, awesome. Who else would like to give it a try? And it's okay if you need more examples, more practice. We'll be doing that, but I want to make sure that all of you have an opportunity to make mistakes. Okay, most importantly, because that's very important in learning in Hindi, because only when you make mistakes you feel comfortable that fear is out. Okay, and I can be comfortable. So this is your chance before we move on to the next.
Okay, I'm good at making mistakes. Okay, let me see. Okay, so मेरे पास वही कलम है.
Okay. मेरे पास वही I'm gonna just say a phone है. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
मेरे पास वही phone है. And what does it mean?
I have that same phone.
Okay, you can say यही also. मेरे पास यही phone है. Exactly.
Oh yeah, then that would be right.
Yeah, मेरे पास यही phone है. Awesome. See, you thought you will make mistake in your mind, but it's not like that. It's not like a rocket science. It's just a plain simple language, right? Awesome. So let's, if you didn't get a chance, you will get plenty of opportunities. Okay, so don't worry about that. So hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully this build the foundation of using the word he, emphatic word he, with pronouns. Okay, so right now we did the pairing of yah and wah. Now I'll do the pairing of slightly different. Okay, so now I'll do pairing of muj and tuj. Okay, so bear with me. It gets a little bit tricky. So you had man, and you have two. Okay, so मैं is I and tu is you, which is a little bit more informal, and if you're close to someone you can use that. Okay, now the oblique case, whenever you use मैं and tu with post position, they turn into an oblique case. Okay, such as मुझको or तुझको or मुझे or तुझे. I mean, I hope you guys. Or similarly, you say mujhse. So oblique case is like, let's say I have a post position ko here. Okay, so मैं plus ko, it becomes mujhko. Okay, and similarly, two plus ko is, you have ko here, and it becomes tuj, and then ko, you add it there. Now, in this section of the pronoun, what Rupert Snell is saying that even with this base of the oblique case, muj and tuj, if I can write it here, muj and tuj, you can put he with that as well. Okay, you can add he with that as well. And this one become muji, and this one will become tuji. Okay, and let's practice how it works. So you have, for those of you who are into Devanagari, is ma with u, and then ja with e, muji, and this one will become ta with u, and then you have a ja here. Okay, tuji. Okay, so far so good, right? You think of it as like मैं and tu when you use it post position, whether it is ko or say, there will always be the muj and tuj. Okay, and try to use it with he, muji and tuji. Okay, now let's try to use them with a very simple sentence, and hopefully this will clarify your doubts before I give you the answer of it. Okay, if you recall correctly, how do you use the word ko? One of the use case was like I need, let's say I need chai. Who can tell me how do you say that in Hindi? Anyone who is chai fan? I know Leah is a coffee fan, so she's not going to say that. But okay, so Jamil, you give it a try. How will you say that? I need chai.
मुझको चाय चाहिए.
Very good, right? So I'm going to say mujhe and mujhko are same.
मुझे.
So it's same. Okay, so I'm going to say
Yes.
mujhe chai,
चाहिए.
chahiye, which means I need
I need
chai. Okay, and for those of you who are completely new, don't worry about it. It's a very simple thing. If you need anything, you can just replace chai with that. Like मुझे help चाहिए, मुझे नौकरी चाहिए, मुझे phone चाहिए, मुझे anything, right? You just or मुझे vacation चाहिए. I need vacation. So if you can just remember that, it'll be much easier for you. Okay, so that's how it goes. Now think about this here, right? I mean, so right now you said मुझे चाय चाहिए or मुझको, if I were to say the other way, मुझको चाय चाहिए. Okay, मुझको चाय चाहिए. That's the other way of saying it. Okay, now what if I were to say मुझी? That the word is different. Now I'm using this one. मुझी को चाय चाहिए. Jamil, what do you think? Is it the same thing or different now?
So it will be added he. We added just he here.
Yeah. And what is the difference in the outcome?
At first I just say I need tea, but in the second sentence there are a group of people, but I just say I need tea.
Yeah. Just I. मुझी को चाय चाहिए. Okay. So the emphasis on this guy. Okay. Similarly, if you know, there are other use cases of ko. Okay, which is I know. How do you say I know in Hindi? Let me ask someone else. Tasneem ji, are you still there, right? What do you think? How do you say I know in Hindi?
मालूम
Yeah. So how do you say I know?
मुझे मालूम है
Okay, very good. So मुझे मालूम है और मुझको मालूम है. Very good, right? मुझे मालूम है. And now so far this is not emphasis he. Imagine Tasneem ji, you have to say only I know this. Okay, how do you say that now?
मुझे को मालूम है
Very good, right? So you said मुझी को मालूम है. Okay, मुझी को मालूम है. Now I know you are in psychology, right? And let's say you are performing an experiment. Okay, in Hindi we also use the verb आना. Okay, मुझको आता है, which means I know it, how to do it. Okay, and if you want to say only I know how to do this experiment, यह experiment मुझी को आता है. Okay, you can say that as well. Okay, so if it is becoming too difficult, think about it this way. Here mujhko is splitted into two parts. You're putting he on the mujh, and here it is embedded. So right now you're saying here mujhko malum hai. Okay, and here mujhi ko malum hai. Okay, so hopefully this is clear. Okay, even though it's slightly hard. Okay, but hopefully it's making sense. I'll try one more use case of muji and tuji. So even though I'm using main here, feel free to use, tuj also. Okay, so why don't we try it?
Can I ask
Yeah.
one more? So
Yeah.
I feel like I just got that. This is so the mujhe ko, like if you see a ko, then you know, like in the second example in the B, mujhe ko malum hai, then you know which one it is. Like I thought, how was I going to be able to tell the difference? But sometimes mujhe, muji when they speak fast, but then okay, right? Is that always the case? Like,
say it again one more time.
Differentiate between, because they sound a lot alike, right? Mujhe and muji, like sometimes when people are speaking fast, but if you know the ko is in there, then you know which one it is.
No, so in ko is also there in the first one also. Mujhko malum hai.
But you
right?
can say mujhe instead of mujhko.
That's right. That's
So
right.
I thought, how am I going to be able to tell if it's mujhe or muji? Sometimes when it's fast.
Because you
But
can
if
tell. I think I get your question. You can know by multiple things. You can get a cues from the person. Let's say you're getting a quote from some specialist. Okay, the way some of the previous sentences will be structured is like they are emphasizing just on themselves. Okay, or some other person, like तुझी को मालूम है. Okay, let's say I reach out to you and like आप ही को आता है. That means you only know. Okay, so with aap it makes sense because aap and then he is separate from it, but even though I'm using it together. Kelly ji, aap hi madad kar sakti hain. That means only you can help me, Kelly ji. Okay, instead of that I can say तुझी तुझी को आता है, only you know it, or तुझी को मालूम है. But it's a different pronoun because tu is sort of informal you, as you know. Okay, so two different words.
No, that was very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So let's do one more example. Okay, so let's do one more example, and then what I was trying to go with that is like, think about it is like, don't just stick with the pairing is muj and tuj, or muji or tuji. So all the examples we did with muji, try to see if you can do it with tuji as well. Okay, tuji ko chai chahiye. That means it could be a sarcastic comment. Like, okay, it could be like, there are a group of 10 people in my room. Okay, everyone is having mango lassi. Only one person is asking for chai. Okay, तुझी को चाय चाहिए. Like, it could be a sarcastic comment that, only you need chai. Everyone else is having, mango lassi. Okay. However, it could be a good thing as well. It doesn't have to be sarcastic. Like, It could be like, तुझी को चाय चाहिए. Everyone else will just like, they do not need anything. Okay. तुझी को मालूम है. That hopefully this makes sense. Now I do, one more examples, and hopefully this will even go further. Like last class, we didn't get a chance to dig deeper into it, and I thought we really have to parse this out. Okay. One more use case of ko was if you like something. Okay. Which is basically 1 minute. Okay. If you like something or something. So I like. So let's see who can answer that. Tatiana ji, you want to give it a try? How do you say I like something in Hindi?
मुझे पसंद है. मुझे चाय पसंद है.
Okay, very good. मुझे चाय, great.
पसंद है.
Very good. मुझे चाय पसंद है. Okay, so either that or you can say मुझको चाय पसंद है. Okay, now try to use मुझे with this sentence.
I don't know.
Right.
मुझको चाय पसंद है. The same?
Same thing, but instead of that, you're using the word मुझी. मुझी.
मुझी चाय. मुझी को चाय पसंद है.
Okay, awesome. मुझी को चाय पसंद है. Okay, what does it mean? So here it's I like chai. मुझी को चाय पसंद है would be?
I like only chai.
Okay, that would be मुझको चाय ही पसंद है. I like only chai, where the emphasis on chai, it's the he will come after chai. Okay, मुझको चाय ही पसंद है, that I like only chai. और मुझको कॉफी ही पसंद है, और मुझको स्टारबक्स ही पसंद है. Okay, if you're using it with the pronoun मुझको means emphasis will be on this pronoun. Yeah.
Only I.
Very good.
Only I like chai.
Very good. Only I like chai. Okay. मुझी को चाय पसंद है. Anyone else would like to? Dhanraj? Very good, Tatyana ji. Dhanraj, what do you think? So far following?
Yeah, following. So I can maybe give an example. मुझको रोटी पसंद है.
Okay. मुझी को रोटी पसंद है. Awesome. In your case, you can say as well that मुझको, if you are surrounded by your friends who are not part of your dance group, you can say मुझको Indian classical, or traditional dancing आती है और मालूम है. Yeah. Great. Vatsala ji, how are you doing?
So I have another example. मुझी को गुस्सा ज़्यादा, I don't know whether it's आता or आती है.
Very good, right? So great. So let me write it down. It's a good example. So we'll say मुझी को ज़्यादा गुस्सा is anger. Okay, आता है. Okay, मुझी को ज़्यादा गुस्सा आता है. You should write it down. Okay, the verb here is गुस्सा आना. Now it doesn't translate one-on-one with English. Okay, so just bear in mind, right? Gussa ana is like anger is coming to you. That's how it translates in English. But what she's saying is like, why don't you translate it and not मुझी को गुस्सा ज़्यादा आता है और ज़्यादा गुस्सा आता है.
I get very angry.
Okay. Awesome. Great. I've not spoken with Navneet. Navneet, are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a try. You can use, now, even though the pairing was muj and tuj, we can do we, which is hum, and tum. We and, you, which is semi-formal. So it's hum and tum, and it becomes hami or tum hi. So you can use that, navneet. Hami. It's okay to make mistake, okay? So don't worry about that. Hami and tum hi.
तुम्ही को चाय पसंद है? So
Okay.
like, do you like chai?
So let's try to use some different example. I know we have kind of like did chai a lot more, but I want you to try something else, okay? And same thing with tum hi.
तुम्ही को chocolate पसंद है?
Okay, tumhi ko chocolate pasand hai. Okay, and Rupert Snell, good job. Okay, great. And as you look at Rupert Snell examples, also he says Hindi hami bolte hain. Okay, which is basically it is we who speak Hindi. That's what he translated it as. Okay, hopefully this makes sense. Okay, I know it's still it takes time. Okay, it's not it's a concept. Even after 550 videos, I'm covering it now, and Rupert Snell just covers it in chapter number 9. Okay, so it's not that common. Let me put it this way: it's not that common that people will be using it so frequently that you will be stuck. Chris, how are you doing there? Let me just make sure
I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to give it a try?
Okay.
Yeah.
हमी को कुल्फी पसंद है.
हमी को कुल्फी पसंद है. Great. And Vedant?
हम ही को दूध पसंद है. और मेरे सवाल है.
पूछो ना.
What's the difference between तुम ही and तुझी? Do they both mean only you?
So yeah, so it's the same difference between like you have like in English you have you, right? It's you basically. It's for you, right? In Hindi there are three, as you know, it's three different pronouns for you. It's like aap is in the degree of order is like very formal, and then tum, and then it's tu. Okay, tu it's if you're very close to someone, you're very familiar with them, like we are friends. Okay, so I can say Vedant, tu kya kar raha hai, and you will not mind it because you're like my very good friend Ashu is telling me, and I should not mind it, right? If I'm talking to your parents, I'm going to be using aap. Okay, I want to give extra respect. Okay, if we just became friends, Vedant, and I want to be still giving you slightly more respect, I can use tum. Vedant, tum kya kar rahe ho? Or Vedant, tum kahan ja rahe ho? Okay, we're not there yet. Okay, so it doesn't mean one is inferior versus the other one is superior. It's not like that. Okay, it's if I said it in the before, that's a misconception, because even tu can be it can be very intimate. The fact that you're using tu with someone, that means they're very close. Okay, and that there is no formality required. And I can say Vedant, tu kya kar raha hai? Okay, it doesn't mean that I disrespect you. So I hope it makes sense. So tum hi is coming from with this tum, or tuji is coming from this.
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great example. Let's see. Yeah, I think Kelly, do you have a question?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
If I said hami Hindi University pyar karte hai, right? Only we love Hindi University.
Yeah, it is we. That's right. That's right.
If I wanted to say not only we love Hindi University, like the whole world loves Hindi, like how would you say the not in that?
Yeah. Very good. Right. So you will say na keval hum.
Oh boy. Sorry, did I?
Yeah, we have not done it, right? Not only me.
So you can't just put nahi, like you can't just put nahi. Okay.
Na keval is basically na, only. So think about it this one. Only me is keval, na keval main, or na keval hum. Na keval main. So keval main is only me, right? You remember we used the word, keval also.
That's on your other video, right? You have a video with Sirf and Kev. Okay, I have to watch that one.
So not only me is na keval main, but sari duniya, Hindi University पसंद करती है. Yeah. Let me quickly check who I haven't had a chance. Tom, you being very quiet. You're like trying to hide that, I don't get caught.
Ashu Ji, namaste.
Namaste.
Humi ko rang kala pasand hai.
Okay, very good. So you said hami ko kaun sa color pasand hai?
I tried to say rang kala or kala rang.
Okay,
The black, we like the black color.
Okay, very good. Hami ko kala rang pasand hai. Okay, hami ko kala rang pasand hai. Great, great. A good example. Let's see. Lorena, you want to give it a try? It's okay to make mistakes, okay? Yeah.
Nahi.
Yeah. Nahi. give it a try. It's okay.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, let me help you out. Okay, let me ask you a different way. Maybe this will help you. Okay. I'll look at the book here. Okay, so I'll give you a simple example here. So we have done tum hi. Okay, so let's say tum hi. I say Japan jaoge. And the verb here is jana. It's to go. Okay, jaoge is the future indefinite of that. Okay, now give it a try. Now try to connect them. And if it is hard, that's okay. I'll try to still break it down. The verb, the pronoun here is tum, which is basically you, but semi-formal. Okay, so if you say tum Japan jaoge, which means you will go to Japan. Tum Japan jaoge. Okay, simple. That you follow, right? Tum Japan jaoge. Let's say you don't know Hindi at all, and I were to tell you that. Maybe that's a good exercise for everyone. Okay, just to kind of like, let's say you never heard of it, anything, right, in Hindi, and I said tum Japan jaoge is you will go to Japan. Okay, that's a word, right? Tum. Now we know that whenever you use the word he, it's to give emphasis. Tum hi only, and you know that one of the use case of the translation of he is only and then the thing that is coming before that. So now see if you can give it a try. Tum hi Japan jaoge versus this. I help out. Okay, so this one is you will go to Japan, and this one is only you will go to Japan. Okay, only you, because you are emphasizing with the word he. Okay, so what you can do is like try to replace this with other pronouns we have learned. Okay, aap hi Japan jaoge, which is only you who will go to Japan. Okay, hum hi Japan jayenge, right? Only this is we, or only we will go to Japan. Okay, so I know this is your first class, so it's it's gonna take time, but just hang in there. Okay, and just like by following other students and then watching them speak, you'll be able to quickly pick it up. Okay, but great effort there. Okay, so now I'll shift the gears and I'm going to go slightly faster. Okay, and so far we have done like 2 pairings and one I just inserted it. Okay, so this time I'm going to be a little bit quick, and this time we're going to be doing is and us. Okay, so remember we did yeh and vah. Okay, the oblique case of yeh and vah is and us. So you in Hindi you write is and then you have a us plus u and then sir, and you are putting he with that. Okay, now honestly speaking, we could have just skipped the entire thing because Rupert Snell, he even himself doesn't give too many detailed examples of it, but I don't think you will find it useful, right? I mean, it's better to use many more examples and practice it, right? So Jamil, what do you think will happen to is and us if we use it with he?
So it will be isi and usi.
Very good, right? So it will become isi. It will be easier to write it in Devanagari. It's isi and usi. Okay, like basically is he, is he. Okay. Who can think of some examples of isi and usi? Okay, so let's see. Let me give you an example. Okay, and then maybe this will be easier. Okay, so this is for both you and Ted. Okay, you want to say he or she has money. How will you say that?
Usa. Ushi.
Give it a try. Okay,
Usi.
let me ask. Yeah. So right now we are not using the emphasis. Right now we are saying he has money.
Uske paas paisa hai.
Okay, very good. Uske पास पैसे हैं. Awesome. Ted, you agree with that? You think there is any mistake here, or you think it's correct? Uske paas, right? To have, huh? What do you think?
सही है.
Okay. Uske paas पैसे हैं. Okay, now hear me out here. Okay, let's say if I were to say now, Ted, उसी के पास पैसे हैं. उसी के पास पैसे हैं. What do you think?
Only he has money.
Only he has money, or only she has money. Okay,
Only
उसी
she.
के पास, right? उसी के पास पैसे हैं. Great. Okay. What about okay, so usi, we did the so hopefully this makes sense, right? Only, so this is the use of like how we use uske paas first and then usi ke paas. Okay, only
I see.
okay, great. Now let's do this one. Isi, who can give it a try?
आप इसी वक्त आ जाओ.
Very good. So now try to tell me without okay, let me write it down first. Aap, this is the harder one. Okay, so just hear it. Okay, aap इसी वक्त आ जाओ. Okay, and समय is another word for वक्त. Let me write down समय because we use समय quite a lot, so it'll be easier for people to follow. Okay, आप इसी समय आ जाओ. Now let's try to break it down, Sangeeta ji, because this is a little bit complex even for some of the advanced students. Okay, so let's try to simplify it. If it is simply आप आ जाओ, आप. So let me make it even simple. आप इसी समय आओ. Okay. What does it mean if I simply say आप आओ? Sangeeta ji.
You come.
Very good, right? You come. Okay, and you are basically requesting it to someone. That's why it's an imperative sentence. Okay, so आप आइए, आप आइएगा, or आप आओ. Okay, so the very basic sentence is आप is you, and verb here is आना. But when you are using an imperative sentence, which is you're requesting someone, you say you come. आप आइए, or आप आओ, or आप आइएगा. Right? I mean, so you simply said आप आओ. Okay. Now let's try to make it one level further. Okay, and I'm thinking out loud as well. Okay, so we have not done yahi part so far, but you could say that as well. But आप Actually, there is no other sentence that can come in between. So it would be आप इसी समय आ जाओ. Okay. What does it mean, Sangeeta ji?
You come at this same time or come
Okay.
right now.
Yeah, you come right away, right now. Okay, and now it's a loose translation, but what you're saying is like, you're calling someone, you're telling them, please come here right away or right now. Okay, आप इसी समय यहाँ आ जाओ or आओ. Okay, now I wish I could say यह समय, but that's not possible, right? That's not possible, right? So that's why you're putting like यह plus he emphasis, like this very moment. Okay, that's why you are saying आप इसी समय यहाँ आ जाओ. Okay, let me give more example because this is slightly tricky. Okay, so let's see if I can come up with some more example for इसी. We've done usi, but let's do isi as well. Actually, we've done isi ke paas. Okay.
Can I try?
Yeah, please try.
इसी को उम्मीद है.
Okay. इसी को उम्मीद है. So let me write it down. इसकी को उम्मीद, and what does it mean, Navra?
He only has hope.
Okay. Try it one more time.
He only has hope, or this only has hope. I don't
Okay.
know. He is the only one who has hope.
That's right. He's the only one who has hope. Okay. इसी को उम्मीद है. Okay. He's the only one, or she is the only one who has hope. Okay. इसी को उम्मीद है. Okay. Now, so that's exactly right. इसी को उम्मीद है. Only he or she has hope here. Okay. If it is still hard, because even for me as a teacher, it's kind of like, as I dig deeper into it, I'm trying to put myself in your shoe. It can be hard.
I have
Right?
a simple sentence.
What?
I have a simple sentence.
Okay, go for it.
उसी ले लो.
Yeah?
उसी ले लो.
Ushi, and what does it mean?
You take only this.
Okay. Usi ko le lo. Okay. Or use hi. Are you saying use hi?
उसे ही ले लो.
No,
Is
you
it?
will not say usi le lo. Ushi ko. मैं उसी को so if you want to say लेना, you can say मैं उसी को लेऊंगी और खरीदूंगी. Okay, so you say उसी को. Okay, you will not, को is missing basically, but your thought process is absolutely correct. उसी को ले लो.
Translation, please.
Let me ask you, Dr. Satyanka, what do you think the translation would be?
Ashu Ji, I'm going to make you go all the way back. Is and us are the oblique cases of what two pronouns in the nominative case?
Okay.
He and they.
यह and वह. यह and वह.
Oh.
Okay. So
Thank you.
yeah. So remember we did यह, which is यह and वह, and
Yes.
if you do को here, it becomes इसको and उसको.
Thank you so much. That's enough.
But the thing is, like, you're using the base of here, is and us, right?
Yes.
And that's what get most of the people that what the heck is happening. Like you said, it's oblique case, which is there is a postposition here. But now
Yes.
you're splitting it as well, and you're putting he here and he here. So that's why it's a little bit huh?
Thank you. Ya and va are this and that.
Yes.
So only that one, usiko. So usehiko. Usehiko.
Okay. Try one more time.
Only they. Usehiko. Usehiko.
Usiko, that's right. Usiko. Usiko. Read it like ushi. Usiko.
Usiko.
Yes,
No,
usiko.
no A, just us with he.
That's
Usiko.
right. Usiko, that's right.
Only they. Sorry, only the. Is it only those? Yeah, only those, I guess, right?
So that part is kind of like, how do I kind of like find the exact same word in English? And because it may be true for some sentences, but may not be true for all the cases. Okay.
Yes.
So, I'm just trying to find some examples from Rupert Snell, but he unfortunately doesn't have any. Okay.
No, he does not.
He doesn't have much here. He just put it there in the table for us to, figure out. Okay. But the example that are given by students are correct, basically, which is basically, if you're saying I have money, which is mere paas paise hain, okay, he or she
Yes.
has money, is basically, he has money, iske paas paise hain, okay, he
Yes.
has money. It's only him who has money, isi ke paas paise hain, okay.
Only he, yes.
Yeah, it's only him who has money.
He can pass.
Yeah, better.
Yes. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Awesome. So I know we probably are short on time, okay? And today also we just pretty much spent the entire time on this one, but I do want you guys to at least have some time with each other. So the reading part, we will shift it for next week. We couldn't do the reading, but I do want you to have a live interactive class with each other. So for those of you who watched on Facebook, thank you so much for joining. You can also join us every Sunday live, and you can find the details on the page we have, tiny.cc/Hindi University. So we'll stop the broadcast.